Welcome, curious minds. Today, we're plunging into a story that's, it's more than just tech news. It's really a high stakes geopolitical drama playing out right there on your phone screen. We're talking about the ongoing saga of TikTok in the United States. The push for a ban, the legal battles, and what its potential sale or even return could mean for your digital life. Our mission today is to kind of cut through the noise, give you the surprising facts, and help you understand why this really isn't just about one single app.
That's absolutely right.
Yeah.
Yeah, whether you're just scrolling endlessly or maybe you're building a business on the platform or even just following the news, you've certainly felt the tremors of this proposed ban. But what's truly fascinating here, I think, is how this situation has become a critical test case. It's really challenging our understanding of technology, national security, and maybe even free expression in this digital age. We're not just, recapping headlines today. We're asking, what hidden vulnerabilities does this reveal about our digital infrastructure, I mean? And what specific legal precedents could TikTok's fight set for, well, for every foreign-owned app you might use?
Okay, so let's unpack this a bit. For months now, we've seen U.S. lawmakers really pushing to either outright ban TikTok or compel its Chinese parent company ByteDance to sell the platform, sell it to an American owner. The core concern, as you've probably heard, it boils down to data privacy and national security. But it's not just some vague fear, is it? There's specifics there. It's absolutely not vague, no. The central fear, and this has been debated for years, really, it's rooted in specific Chinese national security laws, like the 2017 National Intelligence Law. Now, this law, and others like it, essentially compels any Chinese company, and that includes ByteDance, to hand over data if Beijing requests it. So this raises the pretty alarming prospect of American user data. I mean, everything, your viewing habits, maybe your location, potentially being accessed by the Chinese government, which puts individual privacy and maybe even national security at risk. And that's why some of those proposed solutions, like Project Texas, you might remember that initiative was designed to kind of wall off U.S. user data. But it ultimately failed to satisfy lawmakers because, well, the underlying legal compulsion, it remained.
Right, and this all just escalated dramatically earlier this year. The U.S. government passed a bill that would effectively force ByteDance to either divest TikTok, sell it to a U.S. company,
Right.
or face a nationwide ban. And what happened immediately after that? I mean, it felt like a seismic shift for millions of people, didn't it?
It truly did, yeah. This development sent immediate shockwaves through the entire TikTok community. Just imagine maybe a creator like Baking with Bros, just an example, right? Someone who built maybe $1 million business selling sourdough tutorials on TikTok. For them, and honestly millions of others who've built livelihoods, communities on the platform, this news wasn't just some headline. It was a direct threat. A threat to their income, their brand deals, their audiences they'd carefully cultivated. And users also started actively looking around, searching for alternative platforms. We even saw actual real-world protests with creators and users pushing back against the proposed ban. It just underscores how deeply integrated this app has become in daily life and in the economy, too.
But TikTok didn't just, sit back and take it. They fought back hard with a whole barrage of lawsuits. So what's the core of TikTok's argument against the ban? Are they primarily leaning on, like, First Amendment rights? Or are there other legal avenues they're exploring, too?
Well, they're absolutely leading with First Amendment arguments, yes. They're asserting that the platform is a forum for free expression, and banning it infringes on the speech rights of its, 170 million American users. But it's more multifaceted than just that. They're also challenging the bill on grounds that it's a bill of attainder, which is basically singling out one company for punishment without due process. And they're arguing it exceeds Congress's power under the Commerce Clause. So it's really a full frontal legal assault. They're claiming the government overstepped its authority, targeted them unfairly, and for now, while the courts have put the ban on hold while these significant legal challenges play out. So yes, TikTok is still fully operational in the U.S. right now. But its future, it remains profoundly uncertain. It really hinges on whether ByteDance will ultimately be forced to sell, or if the courts will end up blocking the law altogether.
Yeah, it really drives home that this isn't just about one application, is it? It feels like it's exposing these broader questions about digital sovereignty, the global flow of information. So, what are the broader implications here beyond just TikTok itself? How is this becoming some kind of blueprint for how global tech operates in the future?
Well, it's becoming a monumental test case. It really is. The precedent set here could redefine the boundaries of federal power over foreign investment and internet content, not just for TikTok, but potentially for, other foreign-owned apps or services operating in the U.S. And conversely, it also sets a precedent for how American companies might be treated operating in other countries. It cuts both ways. From a creator's perspective, like we touched on, this has just been incredibly stressful. For many, TikTok is their main income stream, or a huge part of it. So even the threat of a temporary ban means potentially losing income, losing brand deals, losing those audiences. But connecting this to the bigger picture, you have to consider the political and cultural implications too. I mean, TikTok isn't just an entertainment app anymore, is it? It's become a major influence on American culture-shaping music trends, fashion, and even acting as a really significant platform for political discourse, for social movements. So this potential divestiture, it's not just about who owns the company. It's about the possible re-sculpting of cultural influence.
And that leads straight to the fascinating question of what a US-based owner might actually mean for the TikTok that you know and use. Like if a sale actually goes through, will TikTok even feel the same? Could there be subtle changes or maybe dramatic changes to the algorithm, the thing that dictates what you see, or shifts in content moderation policies? This isn't just about data collection, is it? It's also about potential influence.
Precisely. That's a key point. The national security concerns aren't solely about user data, though that's huge. It's also about the algorithm itself. Could a foreign power potentially influence what content Americans see, maybe suppressing certain narratives or promoting others? That's the fear. And this goes right to the heart of what TikTok is. It's this highly personalized content engine. If new ownership changes that algorithm, even slightly, it could fundamentally alter the user experience. Everything from the types of videos that go viral to what voices get amplified. And content moderation policies could also shift dramatically, potentially impacting what types of content are allowed or maybe what gets suppressed. These aren't like trivial changes, right? They directly impact the app's role in our daily lives, influencing everything from cultural trends all the way to public opinion.
So where does that leave us? What happens next for TikTok? For now, as you said, it's still available in the US, but its ultimate fate really depends on the courts and, well, what ByteDance decides to do in the face of these legal challenges. The story, as you can definitely tell, is it's far from over.
Absolutely. So our advice to you, whether you're just a user or maybe you're a creator, is really just to stay tuned. Follow reliable news sources on this. And if you are a creator, it's probably wise to strongly consider diversifying your platforms, just in case. This entire situation, it kind of prompts us to consider a bigger question, doesn't it? What does this ongoing debate about TikTok really tell us about the future? The future of global digital platforms, and how we as a society are going to balance things like national security, free expression, and just the sheer interconnectedness of our digital lives in what's becoming an increasingly complex world. It's definitely a thought worth mulling over, long after you close the app today.